I said it's got one person on there. Whoever's watching, please let me know. Can you hear me? Is the audio good? I know sometimes that can be a bit of an issue. So please just let me know. Let me see something. All right, cool. I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's get those likes up, guys. Let's get those likes up. We've got 3 people watching right now. Let's just get those like numbers up. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think we can start now. I think we're good to go. So yeah, anyways, hi and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of the Weekend Roundup by yours truly. For the first time in a while, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. I see I've got Yo Soy Emiliano. They say Me saludas? What does that mean? I'm assuming that's Spanish. It's sounding a bit Spanish. What does that mean? Hello. Okay, it says hello. Hi, Yo Soy Emiliano. Let me know. Let me know. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Does it mean? Does Yo Soy Emiliano mean I'm Emiliano? Is that what it means? Let me know. I don't know. I think it means that. I don't know. But anyways, we've got 7 people watching live right now, man. Please hit the like button, everybody. Let's hit the like button. Let's get the like numbers up. Yeah, we're back. And like I said, I'm not sure where to start with this weekend roundup. There's the United factor, the Man United factor. Ineos gonna say Ten Hag. There's Man City. There's Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs just doing what Spurs usually do. They bottled it. Who else? I think from the big sides of the traditional big 6, Spurs, Chelsea, and United, we all drew. But then the big guys, really, the guys who are going for the title, City, Liverpool, and Arsenal, they all won. So, yeah, that's why I'm asking, where the hell do we start with this live stream? I don't know. I think I'm gonna start with the Ten Hag news. Well, so far there isn't any news. Anyways, well, there wasn't anything before I came online. I didn't even check Twitter. But I'm sure if there was something, I would have seen other YouTubers post something. Because I was on YouTube watching a few videos. I was busy enjoying Expression's meltdown because Spurs bottled the 3-0 or 2-0 lead rather. But yeah, I haven't really seen what's going on. But I don't think there's anything yet on Ten Hag. But yeah, like I said before we start, there's 16 people watching live right now, guys. Come on. How would we only have 3 likes? Come on, just hit the like button, guys. Don't be stingy with that like button. Let me see something. Hit the like button. You get me? Hit the like button. But yeah, anyways, I think we're gonna start with Eric Ten Hag. That's the big news that happened this weekend. He hasn't been sacked of yet. However, today we traveled to Aston Villa, Villa Park, and if I'm being honest, I never thought we were gonna lose that game. I didn't. That's why I even said in my match reaction for the game against FC Porto, I said Ten Hag needs to be sacked, win, lose, or draw at Villa Park. And if I'm being honest, I didn't think he'd lose. And the reason why I didn't think he'd lose is because we seem, for some weird reason, in the past couple of seasons, we seem to be Aston Villa's bogey team. Like any time we play Villa, right? We just We don't lose. We don't. No matter how bad of a form we are or how terrible the run we're on, we could lose 10 in a row. But as soon as we meet Villa, we won't lose. The worst result that can happen for us is a draw, but we just simply won't lose. So taking that into consideration, I didn't think we'd lose the game. However, today in front of, because all the big dogs were in attendance. All the big dogs were in attendance. So Jim was there, Omar Berada was there, what's his name? David Brailsford was there, Jason Wilcox, even Sir Alex. I know Sir Alex goes to most games, he attends, but all the big dogs, I saw they were sitting up there in like some sort of like a VIP section for the big dogs, obviously. And they were all watching United change. And Eric Ten Hag's taking the piss. And why do I say this? Man United, right? They spent, or rather, Eric Ten Hag last season, his biggest excuse for the rubbish season that we had last season was the fact that we had too many injuries. And to an extent, I got it, right? But to prove that he was absolutely bullshitting us, right? We went and signed him Matthias de Ligt. He said he wanted Matthias de Ligt. We went and signed him for him. He said he wanted a defensive midfielder. We went and signed Ugarte. He said he wanted a new striker. We went and signed a Zirkzee. Who else did we sign? Euro is injured, so okay, let the one slip. There's a fifth person we signed. Who was it? We signed Mazraoui. So from the 5 signings that we made for Eric Ten Hag this season, guess how many of them started tonight? For real, guess how many started tonight? From the 5 signings we made for Eric Ten Hag, 1 started, and that's Nusay Mazraoui. He benched Zirkzee. He benched what's his name? De Ligt. He benched Ugarte. He benched okay, Euro's injured. Like I said, I can't count him. He started a centre back pairing of Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire. 2024, Evans and Maguire are Manchester United starting centre back partnership. Does that make any sense? After spending all that money, people defended him last season. They said he had too many injuries. What did you expect? They said he had to play different partnerships on centre back because Lisandro was injured, because Varane was injured. We bought him De Ligt. He doesn't want to play him. He had to bring him on at halftime simply because Maguire got injured. He's playing a 37-year-old centre back and Johnny Evans. Now, God bless him. He got man of the match. Fair play. But let's be honest here, guys. We cannot be playing or having Johnny Evans as our starting centre backs. It can't work. It's 2024, guys. This is not Leicester. For those who aren't aware, right? Maguire and Evans played together at Leicester City. At Leicester. Now, after spending more than £600 million, this guy wants to tell us our best centre back partnership is the guys we got from Leicester. A 38-year-old we got from Leicester and a guy who he's been trying to sell for the past 2 seasons. Don't forget he's been trying to sell Maguire for the past 2 seasons. He came to the club, he stripped him off the armband, he dropped him, he made him 4th choice defender. In fact, 5th choice defender. But now he's relying on the guys he's trying to sell. We're going to midfield. He was trying to sell Christian Eriksen just in the summer, which I agreed with at the time. He was trying to sell him. But now he's starting Eriksen. Nah, he's taking the piss. He's taking the piss. Honestly, he is taking the piss. Like, I've seen his biggest supporters finally open their eyes. They have actually opened their eyes. I remember I said it, guys, before the FA Cup final. I said, guys, I get it. We've got lots of injuries. Cool, I hear it. These things happen. But Ten Hag is not struggling because of injuries. He's just not good enough. I told you guys he abandoned his principles. He abandoned his style of play, his philosophy. Everything about him, he literally threw it out the window and said, I can't play like I played at Ajax because I don't have the Ajax players. We signed him Mazraoui, we signed him De Ligt, we signed him Martinez, we signed him Onana, we signed him Anthony. That's like 5 players already from Ajax. If we're going to continue the Dutch connection, we signed him. Oh, Eriksen at 6, we signed him Malacia, Zirkzee, Mount. He refuses to use off of these guys. Also, that's substitution. When he brings off Rashford and he chooses to bring on Anthony over Ahmed. Anthony over Ahmed, guys. Are we seriously doing this? Like seriously, I'm at a point where I don't even feel the need to rant or to get pissed off because of Man United, because of this man. This is how symbolic his stint at this club has been. He has been so bad that we are literally used to rubbish performances week in, week out, rubbish substitutions, poor in-game management. Everything is just shit. Even the biggest 10 out inner will tell you that. They'll, at least they're being honest and genuine, at least. They will tell you Man United are the worst coached team in the English Premier League. We are literally 14th as we speak. 14th with a negative goal difference. After 7 games. An interesting stat, right? I saw them they say, on X, they're saying that Ten Hag has now broken the record. Last season, rather, let me start this way. Last season, Ten Hag actually, after the first 7 Premier League games of the season, last season Ten Hag broke our record and he had the worst start to a season. The worst start to a season was last season under Ten Hag. Guess what he's gone and done this year? He's gone and breaking an even worse. We're worse than last season. Last season, which we were saying was rubbish, which we were saying he deserved to be sacked for, because we finished 8th. He's had an even worse start than last season. We're 14th. Negative goal difference. Refuses to play players he spent big money on. Honestly, like, Ineos, the decision is simple. You have to sack the man. You have to sack him. He's not good enough. He's shown it time and time again. And at this point, we're all just waiting to be put out of our misery. Honestly, we are. We literally are. Because, if you watch the pathetic thing what he did today, right? He realizes, okay, all the big dogs are at the game. Alex, Jim, David Brailsford, Wilcox, Barada, all of those guys. And he says, okay, you know what? I'm going to actually change my formation. I'm going to try and be a bit more compact, a bit more solid in defense, and not let them do anything. Now, don't get me wrong. Off the ball, we were good. Off the ball, we were good. We were compact, we were solid, we didn't just let them play through us. We said, if anything, we said we're going to be quite narrow, and we're going to let them go out wide. Villa had no teeth today. As much as we were compact and actually solid, Villa had no teeth. If you listen to, if you guys were watching the game with sound on, right? I heard the commentator say something which I found very interesting, and I think it's true. He said that after their game, Aston Villa's game on Wednesday night against Bayern Munich, when they won 1-0, he felt the players were so excited about that. They were so happy. Even the fans were bouncing. Villa Park was rocking, right? So much so that he feels like the Villa players may have exuded too much energy in that game. I mean, don't get it wrong. It's a big win for Villa to beat Bayern Munich in the Champions League since what? The last time they beat them, I believe, was apparently like 40, 50, something years ago. Like, I think they said 40 years ago. So we understand why they would be very excited, and they basically just use all the energy they had in that game. When they came today, they looked very flat. Hence, in the beginning of the game, we looked a bit threatening. We were making a few chances, but we weren't really scoring. We were just trying to do something, but we weren't scoring. However, this man today said we're going to be compact. He further abandoned his principles. He's been trying to play this rubbish 3-1-6 formation at United, and it's not working at all. So today he said we're going to be compact, we're going to be solid. But offensively and on the ball, we offered nothing. We weren't. I'm not one of those people who focus on XG, XA, XGC, all of that stuff. No. I watch football with my eyes. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people like that. I'm saying I'm not one of those. But from what I saw, we were poor. We were just defensive. We came for a draw. Ten Hag said, no matter what, just don't lose. He played that game for a draw, and he was more than happy to take a point from Villa Park. And honestly, if anything ever epitomized him, is picking Bruno Fernandes again, even though he's been rubbish for the past, how long has Bruno been rubbish? Can anyone tell me? Because I can't remember the last time Bruno Fernandes was actually good for Man United. I think the last time he was actually good for United was probably more than 2 years ago. He's been that bad. Like he really, really has been that bad. But before I continue to number, let me just go through some of the comments, because I see some comments here. Just Morgan says, hey, Just Morgan. Craig Poole says, United are dead, bro. Manchester's blue. I'm not even offended. I'm not even offended. I'm not gonna say Manchester's blue, but currently you guys are the better side, so I can't even clap back. It is what it is. Uh, Emiliano says I'm Spanish. How's it? How's it, Emiliano? Brenda says I'm waiting for the breaking news article in the morning, bro. That's all of us. Tomorrow morning, I believe, I don't know, maybe 10 a.m. UK time, 11 a.m., I don't know, whatever, 12 p.m. Just tomorrow, all I ask, Ineos, breaking news. I want to see that tweet from the club. You know, that tweet, official communication, breaking news, with that Man United corner flag thingy, just there, breaking news, Eric Ten Hag has been sacked. That is all that we're asking for at this point. That's all. We're not asking for too much. Just sack the guy and we'll be good. That's all. But anyways, Debo says ETH was backed more than any manager post Fergie era. You're right. In fact, he was backed more than Fergie during his last years in charge. You're not lying because Sir Alex, in as much as we had some world class players, right, under Sir Alex, most of them, or rather not most of them, but some of them were quite bang average players. The likes of Darren Fletcher, John O'Shea, who else? Wes Brown wasn't that great, but he was good, but he wasn't like a world beater. The likes of Tom Cleverley, Anderson, these are players who they were just all right, right? But he mixed them with a good play, with a good group of players like you Wazas, you Ronaldos, Berbatov, Tevez. We had some world class firepower. Don't get me wrong, in attack, but some of the players were just bang average. But they would do a job. They would do a job. Like I feel like a manager's job is to basically hide their players' weaknesses and basically play a style of play which brings out the best out of the players. But with Ten Hag, it's the opposite. He seems to expose every player's weakness. Look at the way Casemiro looks exposed, or whenever he's playing in midfield for us. He makes him look awful. I get it, his legs are gone, and yeah, he looks like he's on the downhill, but Ten Hag doesn't help him with the system he plays. That nonsense of leaving Casemiro alone in the midfield, and I know it didn't start today, but I'm just saying, of leaving Casemiro as a lone six, and then you have Kobe and Bruno ahead, and Casemiro's chilling back by himself. He's so exposed and there's acres of space for the opposition to run into. Hence, every single team we play, right, they just go through our midfield like there's no one. They walk through every single game if you watch it. Today he decides to start Eriksen, who has no legs, against an Aston Villa, which, trust me, if they've got someone like Amadou Onana in there, because Amadou Onana is a physical player and an athlete, someone who relies mostly on his energy and his physicality and just the strength that he has, right? If he's in there, he's bulldozing through Kobe Mainu and Eriksen like there's nothing there. And that's not their fault. Mainu is not a defensive midfielder, and neither is Eriksen. They're players who do or who do their best work higher up the pitch. But Ten Hag will now take them. You can see Eriksen has got no legs, right? Play him deep in a double pivot with Kobe. Neither one are defensive enough. Now that exposes their lack of defensive ability. And now it starts to make, I mean, I've seen a few idiots, right? Literally saying, Kobe Mainu is actually shit. Look at how he gets run past. He's getting run past because he's not a defensive midfielder. He's not a defensive-minded player. It's like trying to play Pogba in the defensive. We did the same thing with Pogba. We tried to play him in the double pivot, and we actually expected him to do defensive work. Just because he's big, he's like 6'4". Pogba's not a defensive player. He was an offensive midfielder. He was a flair player. He could carry the ball for us, dribble, create chances for us. That was Pogba. But we misprofiled him as Man United. We played him in the double pivot. We tried to make him play defensive role just because he's big. He's not that type of midfielder, guys. He's not. But Ten Hag is doing the same with the likes of Mainu. They're looking worse. He's doing the likes of Eriksen. He's looking worse. Casemiro. Also, why the hell was Ugarte not playing today? I get it. I'm not. So far, from what I've seen from Ugarte, I'm a bit worried. I'm not going to lie. In fact, I'm not even a bit. I'm worried. I think PSG may have done a number on us. When I consider the fact that We were interested in signing Joao Neves, right? Baller of a midfielder. Very good. We were looking at Joao Neves. But then what they call Benfica said they're gonna sell him for about 70 million pounds instead of the original release clause. We then said we don't have 70 million pounds for Joao Neves, so we're gonna leave him alone. PSG take him, then they sell us for 60 Ugarte for 60 million. The guy doesn't look like he can make a simple 5-yard pass. He doesn't even look physical enough. I thought we were getting an absolute beast who's just gonna clamp down people, run after everyone, get the ball, pass it to the good players. So far, I haven't seen any of that. But I will admit it's early days, so we'll give him a bit of time. But if I'm being honest, so far from what I've seen, and I'm open to having my opinion changed if I see different stuff from him. So far, I'm not liking what I'm seeing, but I will give him time. But yeah, I feel like I've gone on a tangent now. I've moved away from the point I was trying to make. What I'm trying to say is Ten Hag has been backed, like Tim was saying. He's been backed. He's literally been backed. Like you were saying, he's been backed more than even Sir Alex, because Sir Alex had to make do with some average players, like I was saying, Will Cleverly, Anderson, Gibson, Drinkwater, those type of guys. Ten Hag has spent 616 million pounds. 616 million pounds in 3 summers. And he's still serving up that rubbish type of football that we were seeing against Villa. The man is spineless, and I'm absolutely tired of hearing him talk about the fucking FA Cup and the stupid Carabao Cup, bro. Like, if I hear that stuff mentioned one more time, my God. It's an FA Cup and a Carabao, it's not a Champions League or a Premier League, bro. Shut up about it. Can you imagine how shameless this guy would be if he actually won a Premier League? If he won one Premier League or one Champions League, this guy would never shut up about it. I'm telling you. So the international break has come now. So I think this is the ideal time to sack him. I do. I think there's no point delaying it, because one thing we know for sure is that during international break, the English press, they just like to target United. They'll just try and write whatever bullshit they can about Man United. So if we don't sack him, it's going to be a situation whereby flipping, how do I put it? They're going to try and do engagement farming, basically. They're going to be coming up with fake news, fake rumors. We're going to be seeing our United are linked to flipping Gareth Southgate, who I want nowhere near my team. Please, Ineos, keep that man as far away from us as possible. I don't even think they want him. But basically, tomorrow morning, what we all want to see as Man United fans, because I believe even the biggest Ineos have now seen the light, and I think even they can admit that it's time to go. So what we all want to see tomorrow, Ineos, please set Ten Hag. Just like I said, official communication, club statement. Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag have decided to part ways. You know, that's how they usually put it. They won't say he's been sacked. No. Through a mutual agreement, Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag have decided to part ways. We wish Eric all the best in his future endeavors, all that bullshit. I don't wish him nothing but rubbish in the future. This man came to Man United and gave away one of our most technically gifted players in our squad to one of our main rivals in Chelsea. How do you take Jadon Sancho and give him to Chelsea for 25 million pounds? 25 million. Yet he forced us, this same bastard Ten Hag, forced us to go to Chelsea and pay 60 million for Mason Mount. And Mason Mount who can't even stay fit. And when he's fit, he's rubbish. Nah. Ten Hag will pay for his crimes one day, I'm telling you, because what he's come. Look at, you know what, another thing which people don't talk about enough is, né? Look at the squad which, remember, who was our manager before Ten Hag? It was Ole. I'm not going to talk about Ralph, because Ralph was here as interim for like, what, a few months. So our actual last manager was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer left a squad of Cristiano Ronaldo, Edinson Cavani, Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial. Who else did he leave? Did he leave Matic? I think he left Matic. Who else did he leave? Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho, I don't know if I had mentioned him, Mason Greenwood, David De Gea, um, well, of course, he left Fred and McTominay. McFreddy loved that pivot. Who else did he leave at the club? But basically, he left some ballers, right? And I'm not saying everyone I mentioned there was a baller from the people he left. He left office with those guys. Ten Hag has come, gotten rid of most of them, and I agree, some of them needed to go. But he's gotten rid of most of those guys, right? And guess who he's left leaving us with? He's leaving us with an attack. We've gone from an Ole's attack, which was Ronaldo, Cavani, Sancho, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. That's six, proper six. To Rashford, Garnacho, Ahmad, Zirkzee, Hoyland, Anthony. So on one hand, you had an attack which had Ronaldo, which had Mason Greenwood, which had Sancho, which had Martial, which had Cavani. And on this side, you've got bums like fucking Rashford, Hoyland. Then you've got Garnacho, Ahmad, and another bum in Anthony. Bro, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. And Ten Hag is not, he's not going to be here to pay. We as Man United fans, right? I can't believe that. Like, there was genuinely United fans who, to an extent, I get it, but and overall, I'm just thinking that was a dumb decision. They actually defended Ten Hag for calling out Sancho in public. But the same fans who were fine with that from Ten Hag said nothing when Ten Hag didn't say anything about Rashford going to Belfast and partying after a 3-0 defeat to Man City at Old Trafford on the same day. He didn't have anything to say. He said nothing about him. They were fine with it. But when Sancho is apparently training bad, and you can criticize him in public, the double standards. Fans defended this man. Like, so many fans literally defended Eric Ten Hag. They said, this guy, he had injuries, he had this, he had that, so this season he's gonna do well, get him players. Ineos came through, they put in a whole structure above him, proper structure. Director of football, technical director, chief of scouts, whatever, you name it. Everything, single thing, they changed, brought in new faces, new ideas, competent people who actually have experience in the jobs, not this jobs for the boys nonsense. They did that. However, he still can't deliver. The man literally cannot deliver. Like, what's supposed to happen now? What is actually supposed to happen? We're supposed to keep him? I mean, I literally made this prediction before the season even started. I said United will do well. However, Ten Hag will make it past Christmas. I said Ten Hag will be sacked by Christmas. I've got a few group chats where I put it in the group chat. I said he'll be sacked by Christmas. And my boys, being my boys, some of them have even pinned that message to say, he's staying, he's not going anywhere. Some of them were Ten Hag inners, some were Ten Hag outers like me, but most of them were Ten Hag inners. Guess how many are still Ten Hag in? I believe 99% of them, they've all finally seen the light. They're saying, nah, we can't defend this anymore. And I respect it. If you see new evidence, you're more than, you should be willing to change your mind. You can't be saying, no, I'll just stay defending the manager, even though I don't see, give him a third year. The third year's here, and he's doing fuck all. If anything, he's getting worse. The team has regressed. We score less goals than Ole's team was playing. And remember, with Ole, it was Vibes FC. It wasn't a good style of play. I'm not going to try and rewrite history and say Ole was playing this beautiful football. No, it was counter-attacking football. We were relying on individual brilliance. It was literally Vibes FC. Now we don't even have vibes, bro. We can't even rely on individual brilliance. Someone said on X, and I don't know how true this is. Maybe some of you let me know in the comment section. Someone said on X, right? They said, Man United have scored less goals than Wolverhampton Wanderers have this season. And guess where Wolves are in the league table? Bottom of the Premier League. So Wolves, who are bottom of the Premier League, have scored more goals than us. Big Man United. Less goals than the team which is bottom of the league. Nah, you're taking the piss. You're honestly taking the piss. This man cannot get away with this. He just can't. We're 14th, negative goal difference. We don't score enough goals. We play horrendous football. No cohesion. The players look lost out there. He's making our best players look rubbish. I mean, look at fucking Martinez. He looks like a fucking, I don't even know. He doesn't look like a butcher. It looks like some guy who just, I don't know if he just started realizing this football today. But it doesn't look like the same old Martinez who we know. It doesn't. This man is making everyone worse. If I was to ask Man United fans, which player is actually improving under Eric Ten Hag, I don't think anyone would be able to tell me. Kobe Mainu, has he kicked on from last season? I don't think so. If anything, he's looking worse. And I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's my favorite player at the club, but he's looking bad. Garnacho, I'm not really the biggest fan. People know that. I'm the biggest fan of him. I think he's got a great attitude, and I think that will help him through his footballing career. But football ability-wise, I don't rate him that highly. But again, is he getting better? I don't think so. Is Ahmad getting better? I don't think so. Who's getting better under this manager? Because everyone seems to be regressing. Lisandro looks bad. Flipping, what's his name? De Ligt is starting to look a bit shaky. And I know he's not a bad player. People are cooking Zirkzee. They're saying Zirkzee shit. Bro, Joshua Zirkzee, one of our most technical players. He's looking bad because of the flipping structure. I know with some of the goals he must score. It's not all on Ten Hag. He's missing sitters. But overall, as a player, I think he's very good. I don't know what to say, guys. Honestly, I don't know. But anyways, let me go back to some of the comments. I feel like I'm turning this into a United thing. And I'm trying to cover all the big six sides. But anyways, Ashlyn Quattrini says... Ashlyn Nicole Quattrini, I love you too. Okay. And then Tutu Marak, Messi or Ronaldo. In as much as he was irritating me when he was back at United, because I felt like he was already on the downfall, Ronaldo. I know Messi's the good. I just prefer Ronaldo. As someone who grew up as a United fan watching Ronaldo, I prefer Ronaldo. Yeah, but I know Messi's the good. So no need to enter into that debate. But anyways, just like Brenda said, I think we all want the news tomorrow morning that he's been sacked. Now, my only question now is, do Ineos have the balls to do it? Because I'm not sure they do. I know they wanted to sack him in the summer, but apparently it's come out that Thomas Tuchel actually rejected us. Because I thought they just couldn't reach an agreement with Tuchel, De Zerbi, or Conte. Not Conte, Pochettino, those three managers. I thought they just couldn't reach an agreement, but apparently, when it comes to Tuchel in particular, he actually said no. So I don't know if he was saying no because he wanted full control over transfers and everything, or whatever reason, but he apparently actually said no to us. So it's a bit embarrassing for a big club to be getting turned down by a big manager, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. But for the guys who are watching, right? I know there's a few United fans watching here. Who would you guys like to see come in? I'm not saying we should keep you. I'm not saying I'm asking to say, oh, I'm not doing that nonsense where Ten Hag will say, no, you must keep you can't sack him because or the cycle will continue or who you're going to bring in. No. I'm genuinely asking, who would you guys like to see come in as manager? Because I've seen us linked with Simone Inzaghi from Inter. I've seen us being linked with Nagelsmann. I've seen us even some weird links with Zidane. I've seen links with Amorim, the guy at Porto. Is it Porto or Sporting? I think it's Porto. Yeah, I think it's Porto. There's a few good managers out there. Xavi's there. I haven't seen any links. But yeah, you guys let me know who you think we should probably try and bring in as his replacement. Because for me, I just feel like anybody really at this point will be better. Um, Romo 7 says Ronaldo, Sue. Okay, Sue. Uh, when this is Deserby. I don't think we can't get Deserby because apparently we actually we interviewed him, but we couldn't reach an agreement with him. So I don't think we're gonna get Deserby, honestly. Rom says, "Do you speak French?" PSage. The only thing I can say in French is "Je m'appelle," which is my name is. I can say bonjour. I can say merci, thank you. What else can I say? I can say a bunch of words, but I can't string along actual sentences. But yeah, back to the point which we were saying, Deserby is someone I liked at Brighton. I was quite amazed to hear that we actually interviewed him, but we chose not to give him the job. Because if we're interviewing him, surely Ineos saw something in him. And I know Wilcox, I don't know if, I think he worked with him at Brighton. Not Wilcox, sorry, what's his name? Ashworth, Dan Ashworth. I know he would have worked with him at Brighton before he went to Newcastle. So he knows him. So Deserby would have been perfect, but he's gone to Marseille, and apparently we interviewed him. We had the chance to get him before Marseille did, but we couldn't get Deserby. So we stuck with Ten Hag. For me, I think what will happen is I think we're gonna hire Ruud van Nistelrooy as interim manager for the rest of the season, and then depending on whether he does good or bad, he'll either be sacked or hired on a permanent basis. You see, so what? Oh, you're saying Olympique Marseille? No, Olympique Lyon. Yeah, I like Lyon. I never like this PSG nonsense. But anyways, Deserby, I think he would have been good for us. The only question I have is, it's one thing to, or the only thing I have to say is, it's one thing working at a club like Brighton because it's a small club. You can deal with players who are unknowns. Like, for example, when they go and sign a, what's his name? A Caicedo for like £4 million. He's not known by anyone, so he's not likely to come with a big ego or attitude or anything like that. He signed a Mitoma, a Minter, a flipping, who else? Pascal Gross, all these guys. They're not likely to be big name players. So even they're probably easier to deal with than it is to deal with some big players. Now, imagine Deserby walks into a dressing room. He finds Casemiro's there, 5-time Champions League winner. He finds Varane's there, 5-time Champions League winner. If at the time, what's his name, Ronaldo was there, it would have been a bit tricky, you know. But yeah, I think the ship has sailed with Deserby. For me, what I would like to see, because I am curious to see if it will work, I want to see Ruud get it on an interim basis. Not just because I predicted it at the beginning of the season, because my prediction was Ten Hag will be sacked by Christmas, Ruud will take over for the rest of the season, and I don't know, maybe the optimist in me thinks Ruud would actually do a decent job. I think he can win us the Europa League. And based off of that, I think Ineos will hire him. I would love for Ineos to hire him, but first give him like the job on an interim basis and see if he does well or not. Look, if he does bad, right? It's simple, this thing. If he does badly, you say thank you for your time, but you can leave and you hire someone else. Or if Ineos want to be proper organized, they can go for someone like a Julian Nagelsmann. He's in Germany, the national squad. They can say to him, you know what, Nagelsmann, we want you. However, whilst we're negotiating to bring in Nagelsmann, they can maybe try and reach an agreement with Nagelsmann to say he starts next season at the beginning of the season, but for the rest of the season, Ruud is in charge. Then that way, everybody knows their place. They're clear about what the structure is of the future of the club is. Give Ruud the job for the rest of the season. See if he does well or not. And then by then, you've already agreed a deal with someone like a Nagelsmann. The same way City did it with Pep. Who was the manager? Was it Pellegrini? I think he had just won the league, and then he started the following season, played a bit of the season, and then City quickly pounced on Pep because they knew Pep wanted to leave Bayern. So they quickly pounced. It was announced, and it was quite early in the season. It was already announced that Pep is going to finish his season at Bayern, and then he's gonna come join Man City. So imagine they were doing that to a manager who had won the league. That shows proper planning and proper structuring. You see, it's an organized organization. So with United, we've never really had that with the Glazers. Honestly, we've now got Ineos. So I don't know if they're gonna do it or not. If I'm being honest, I don't know if they're gonna do it. Um, I genuinely think that when it comes to Ineos, I'm confused. That's the thing, though. A part of me thinks they're gonna sack him tomorrow, and then Root continues. And the other part of me is like, Ineos might bottle this and keep him, and say maybe let's wait for the next international break, which is in November, I believe, which would be a mistake. Sack him now. The season is still there. We can still salvage it. I believe that in as much as we're 14th, the points difference between us and top four, I don't think they're more than, fuck, we drew. How many points do we have? Do we have 10 points or 7 points? I think we might be on 7 points. But basically, the gap between us and top four is probably about 6 or 7 points. So you can still cut that gap if you sack him now and end this nonsense now. So the only question is, will they do it? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know if they'll do it. But I'm going to try and be positive and actually predict that they'll do it. But what I will say right now is all eyes are on Ineos. We need to see this man get sacked. He's not good enough. He's been given the place. There's not a single person on this earth who can convince me he hasn't been backed. Because I know people usually say, oh, but he wasn't given a left back. Bro, we signed Malacia from him. He's just injury prone. He chooses to back Luke Shaw even though he's rubbish and can't stay fit for save his life. So there's no manager with a perfect squad. Even look at Madrid, world-class players all over the pitch, right? But I'm sure if you ask proper hardcore Madridistas who watch the club week in, week out, they'll tell you, for example, we need a left back. Maybe we need a left centre back. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we need a understudy for Carvajal because it's getting a bit on now. There's no team in the world. Look at all the best teams in the world. Even Man City. They don't have an out-and-out left back. So much to the extent they had to play Guardiola last season, who, by the way, he absolutely excelled in the role. But for all the firepower they've got up front and defensively and midfield, they ain't got a solid. They don't have like every single piece that they want in the team. Now, Ten Hag wants every single piece to be there. In fact, it must be in an Ajax shirt, being played in the Johan Cruyff Arena, and that's the only way this man can actually perform. Because other than that, you can't do it. You can't do it. And it makes sense now that, right? Because apparently, we hired Ten Hag about 3 years ago, right? The year before, apparently, he had been interviewed for the Spurs job, but he failed the interview. After interviewing him, Daniel Levy said, no, this guy ain't it. He turned him down and he went and hired someone else. I can't remember who he went and hired, but he basically turned Ten Hag down and said, no, not interested in this guy. Spurs, little old Spurs. Imagine if you're getting rejected by Spurs, there's definitely something wrong with you. Spurs said no to him and they let him go. They've now got Edge, who, to be honest, it's not looking so great. It's not. But yeah, that's what's going on really with the club. I don't know what's going to happen, but like I said, I'd like to get Nagelsmann. That would be my ideal choice. Give Root for the job on an interim basis. Play the last 6-7 months of the season. Win us, hopefully win us the FA Cup and the Europa League, or either or. But at least the Europa League, that's the one I'd like the most, because at least we qualify for Champions League. Win us the Europa League. Already a club legend. The clubs will love him. Around the club, the fans will love him. He increases his status as a United legend. I know it's just it's a Carabao, not which ball. It's just the Europa League, but still, the fans will love him for that because he will have gotten us Champions League football. Then someone like a Nagelsmann comes in and takes over. That would be the ideal situation for me, to be honest. That would literally be the ideal situation. But whether or not it happens, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Uh, but yeah, fingers crossed. United actually do it tomorrow. We pull the plug and we can just move on from this man because I'm not even sure what he said in his post-match interview, but I'm sure he said some bullshit. I'm sure he said some nonsense of, nah, we're still together, or we believe in the process, or whatever. Man, fuck off, bro. There's no process with you. It's just pain. You know what? You know when you need to know when a manager's bad, right? When rival fans want you to keep him. That's when you know a manager's bad. If ever rival fans come out and say keep the manager or protect this manager by all costs. I was seeing memes on flipping Twitter of a limousine having like flipping, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 guards surrounding it running. And then the caption was protect Ten Hag at all costs. And Ten Hag was written on top of the limo, basically. So rival fans are saying that you should keep Ten Hag because guess what he'll do? He'll win a young Carabao here or an FA Cup here, and he'll talk shit about it, whilst being absolutely rubbish in the league. They know United will never ever get back to being one of the best sides in the league in the world as long as we've Eric Ten Hag. But hey, it is what it is. The Boko says United should get Xavi. Proven track record at the highest level, promotes youth players, tactically sound, has a top coach personality. Oh, and did I mention he speaks good English? I didn't know that he speaks good English. I didn't. I don't know why. But yeah, I didn't know he speaks good English. But I'm not gonna protest to have watched every single Barcelona game under Xavi. But the few times I watched them in the Champions League, they looked good. They looked good. You know, I remember even when they got knocked out by PSG in the Champions League, right? They were the better side. I remember they were in both ties, they were playing better football. So I don't know. I don't know exactly why there seems to be this negative stigma around Xavi Hernandez. Like people are like, no, we don't want him. We don't want him. He failed at Barca. I had an idiot literally WhatsApp me. I won't mention his name. He knows himself if he's watching. He said to me, why would you want Xavi at United? He failed at Barcelona. Excuse me? This is a Ten Hag inner, by the way. So you back a man who won a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup over a man who won a league title. Get out of here, man. Ten Hag inners sometimes, man. they just as deluded as their manager. But yeah, I think Xavi could work. I think he could. He would be top 3 in my list. I think at the top of my list, I'd have Nagelsmann. Number 2, maybe Xavi. Who would be number 3? I'd like Xabi Alonso from Leverkusen. However, I don't think he'll ever come to United for obvious reasons. He was a Liverpool player, won a Champions League with them. I just don't see him doing it. I don't see him coming to United. That would be the ultimate fuck you to Liverpool fans, and I would be here for it. If anything, right? I think I'd put Xabi Alonso at the top of my list. Make him number 1 priority if we're gonna bring in a new manager. I just know it's not gonna be possible for him to come. Even if we offer him all the money in the world, I don't think he'd come. But Xabi would be good for us. The football he plays is very good. You know, I remember in the summer there were a few links with Kieran McKenna as well. I'm sure those have died down now though, because Ipswich apparently suffering a lot. They're struggling to get. Have they even won a single game so far this season? I know for a fact they're below us in the league, and we're 14th. So they could easily be anywhere between 14th and 15th and 19th, because I know 20th is Wolves with only 1 point or something. I'm not sure, but they're also struggling. So that'll put an end to those leaks or rumors of us being linked with them. So I think that's gone. I'm just at a point where that I get it. People don't want Ruud van Nistelrooy, right? But the reason why I'm saying I wouldn't mind Ruud is because apparently, and I use the word apparently very carefully here. Apparently, Ruud van Nistelrooy was playing good football with what do you call this team? PSV Eindhoven. Apparently, he was playing very good football, and he even won 2 trophies with Eindhoven, which is the KNVB whatnot, and the other one. And people who watch Eredivisie say those 2 trophies are basically the equivalent to the Dutch FA Cup and the Dutch not Eredivisie. They equivalent to the Dutch FA Cup and the Dutch Carabao Cup. So basically, he's won Carabao Cup and FA Cup, but in Holland. So would that mean he'd come succeed at United, or would he flop? I don't know, but I just like to see it being tried, even if it's just for the vibes. I want a manager who will come and have these boys playing good football, man. I'm tired. I've watched rubbish for 11 years now. Since Alex left, it's been rubbish after rubbish. Moyes was horrible. Van Gaal was just boring, side to side, backward, side to side, backward. Jose was doing his thing first season, but then second season he seemed to fall off and started to fall out with players. He killed himself. Who else do we have? Ole, Vibes FC. But as soon as he got the job on a permanent basis, it became rubbish. Who else? Ralph tried to get us to play the Gegen pressing. They couldn't do it. And then we ended up with the fraud, Eric Ten Hag, who came out and told us with his own mouth that he can't play the way he played at Ajax. Even though 90% of the reason why the United fan base wanted you was because you played good football at Ajax. That was the main reason why I personally wanted you at United, because I thought this guy was balling out at Ajax. He was cooking Madrid at the Bernabeu, cooking Juve and Turin, doing things with that young Ajax squad. I thought he's going to bring that to United. He's going to excel. He hasn't. He's been rubbish. And he talks as if he's excelled at this club. Yes, when he came here, we hadn't won a trophy in like 4 or 5 years. I can't remember. But again, and we're grateful for those 2 trophies. But let's be honest, it's just an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. It's not a Premier League. It's not a Champions League. It's not a Club World Cup or a Super Cup. It's a fucking Carabao and Europa League. You know. But anyways, like I said, I don't know. I think right now it's just all eyes on Ineos. All eyes on Ineos. Will they sack him? Will they not? I don't know. I'd like for them to sack him and then give Rudon an interim basis, because I don't think you're going to go out there and get a top manager right now, unless if you're going to have a pre-agreement and they come in and join the club at like the end of the season, or rather the beginning of next season. But right now, I doubt there's any. Well, Xavi's there, so I don't know if Xavi would be interested in coming to England, because I know it's like some of the managers who manage in Spain, they don't want to come to England. Like Zidane is a bit reluctant to come to England. Xavi, I don't know, but maybe he would be open to it. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Frightening YT says, hi, United fan, hi. Debra says, I'll give you a dark horse. No, Ange. Postecoglou. No, bruh. Nah. Did you not just see Brighton smoke him? No. Literally about 2 hours ago. Not even 2 hours. 1 hour ago, they were 2-0 up at halftime. And then they come back from halftime and they got schooled 3-2. No. I would love the good football. But imagine Ange, right? With his highlight at United. Maguire and De Ligt on the halfway line. We'll get killed. We'll get hit 4-0, 5-0 every week. Every week we will get destroyed, because he's going to want to play that very high line of his. Maguire on the halfway line. De Ligt on the halfway line. We don't have Van de Ven with recovery pace. If someone goes one-on-one, or they go through at our defense, it's Maguire who's chasing. It's Licha who's chasing. And I'll be honest, Martinez isn't that quick either. It's De Ligt. Maybe Leniero could be quick, but I know he's not as quick as what's his name? Van de Ven. So we can't play like we have a Van de Ven who can actually recover for us. We can't do it. We just can't. But He's a good coach. I'm not saying he's bad. I don't know, man. I feel like this United job is very big, man. I feel we need someone with character, someone with proper self-belief, and someone who's actually won before. Hence, I'm saying with Rude, I don't want him hired on a permanent basis. I want him hired on an interim basis. Few months only. Then reassess after those few months. Was it a honeymoon phase? Or was he actually trying to build something? Can you see a vision? Can you see some patterns? Can you see a style of play, a clear one? Can you see where he's trying to take the club? If you can see it, then give him the job on a permanent basis. But if you can't see it, sack him and go get a proper manager. I don't know. I don't know. And Postecoglou, I like him. I think he's a good manager, but I think the Man United job would be too big for him rather. Honestly, just like Ten Hag, I think it would prove to be too big for him. And I know we're not going to hire someone like Ange on an interim basis. If we're getting him, we get him on a permanent basis, and he would scare me. He would. Like, I like his football, but I don't know. To be fair to him, Spurs are just Spursy. You gotta they have that thing about them. Like they Jose went there. He had won trophies everywhere he'd been. He went to Spurs, he didn't. Conte had won everywhere, went to Spurs, he didn't. So maybe that's what's his name? Postecoglou is suffering from right now. Maybe the problem is Spurs, not maybe it's not him. But I personally would stay away from Ange Postecoglou. Honestly, I would. I really would stay away from him. But to be fair, I don't know who we're gonna get. Hence, I've got this strong feeling towards Ruud van Nistelrooy. I know for a fact it's gonna bring in a good feel-good factor at the club. The same with Ole. Ole was never there. He was supposed to be an interim and then not sacked, but let go after the interim period, hire a proper manager. But they decided to keep him because they felt there were a few good big results. And let's not forget, under Ole, we were beating Pep for fun, eh? There was a season we beat Pep 3 times in a row. We beat him in the league, beat him in the Carabao, if not FA, we beat him in the league again. I said, yo, Ole is cooking something. And it was just vibes. Like, literally, it was just vibes. It was vibes and individual brilliance FC. No style, just counter. And you knew we were deadly on the counter. Rashford on the left. You had Cavani up top. Sometimes it swap, maybe put Martial on the left, Rashford on the right. Greenwood was coming off the bench. We had a lethal attack. And the one we've got now, with Anthony and Rashford and Hoyland, it's not make sure. It's not make sure, but it is what it is. Hoodie says, bro, anyone is an upgrade on Ten Hag, honestly. Your manager is rubbish, bruv. I would love nothing more than to be able to say you're talking shit, but you're not. Everything you said was true. Ten Hag has proven, and I believe will continue to prove, he's not good enough. So, the sooner he's sacked, the better everyone will be at the club. Because at this point, we're just wasting each other's time. Honestly, I'm telling you guys, we are wasting each other's time. Sack the manager, and like Hoodie's saying, everyone's gonna be anyone we get is gonna be an upgrade. Anybody who we get is gonna be an upgrade. So there's no point in us delaying the inevitable. Just sack him, and let's move on with our lives, guys. Get Ruud van Nistelrooy as interim. He'll bring the vibes, like I said, he'll bring positive energy. Maybe we play well, maybe we don't. And what I like about the interim thing is, if he's rubbish, he just gets sacked. He just gets let go at the end of the season. We get someone who's actually good. If he's good, he gets the job. And if people are worried that it's going to be like Ole way, he's good for the interim period, and then as soon as he's getting the job, he's given the job, he's going to become shit. Given the interim period, right? Let's say he delivers a flipping FA Cup and a Europa League, for argument's sake. You're like, oh, you did well. You qualified for Champions League, you delivered the Europa Trophy. Okay, give him a 1 year deal or something like that. So 1+1. That's the deal we're offering you. And then if you do well, you then give him like a big contract, like a 3 or 4 year deal. But you don't have to just stay with Ten Hag because people are like, oh, but there's no one better out there. It's rubbish, brother. The football we play. Chelsea fans are telling me, bro, don't sack him yet. Wait, let us first play you, then sack him. Arsenal fans are saying the same thing. Everyone knows, bruh, this guy's not good enough. When rival fans want you to keep your manager, just be worried. You see. But yeah, it is what it is, really. What can I say? Hoodie again says, and the problem we all have with him is his ego. Man's not even a United fan, but his excuses, bro. That's what, if you see, that's what I'm saying. Like, even people who are not even Man United fans can tell. This guy talks like he's a Champions League winner. All you did was win trophies of fucking Eredivisie. Nobody gives a damn about that league, bro. Nobody. So you need to relax. You know what? When Haaland was doing that thing where he was basically telling Arteta, be humble, hey, after the game, after they drew 2-2. Be humble. Someone needs to do that to Ten Hag. Because he thinks he's a fucking Champions League winner, a Premier League winner. He's not. What you did in Holland, nobody cares about, bro. Because you're clearly failing to replicate it here in England. So just piss off. Honestly. But anyways, Debza says, Chelsea got Maresca, Brighton got Hurzeler, Liverpool got Slot. Can't we go and get an unknown? That's my point. That's my point. Obviously, if people are asking you who would you like to get, I can't say, get me this unknown manager, because that's the whole point of being unknown. You get what I'm saying? But from what I see, right, unknown managers aren't the worst thing ever, because expectations on them is low. They're an unknown for a reason. Nobody knows how they're going to set up, all of that stuff. Look at Ange Postecoglou when he went to Spurs. He was an unknown manager. He was playing on the high line, halfway through the pitch, high line, killing teams, playing good football. Second season, okay, sort of been found out a bit. Spurs are struggling. Look at Maresca. Yes, he won the championship with Leicester, but people would have said, even though he won the Champions League by a big gap, nobody cares because it's the championship. And Chelsea's too big for him. That guy's gone to Chelsea, told Raheem Sterling live. He said, bro, I don't care. You're not part of my plans. If you want game time, leave. Sterling left. He's brought in Sancho now. He's starting for him as his left winger. Whilst this bold fraud got rid of Sancho for 25 million, even though he forced us to pay 60 for Mount. Chelsea have literally made us they've made us their bitch. How did they sell us Mount for 60? A guy who's injury prone and actually rubbish whenever he's fit. And they come and take one of our most technical wingers in Sancho for 25 million. Nah, bro, they were taking the piss. That's another one which Ineos got wrong. I'm not Ineos out, but right now, all my eyes are on Ineos. They're there. I'm trying to see what they do, especially with Ten Hag. If they bottle the Ten Hag sacking, if tomorrow we don't get, or rather, if this international break goes and then we continue with Ten Hag, I'm sorry, I can't get behind Ineos anymore. Because what else are they waiting for? They've seen the guy's not good enough. The only reason that I would think Ineos don't want to sack Ten Hag for is the fact that they know that apparently that if they know that if they sack Ten Hag, they apparently have to pay him about 17 million pounds. So that's the only reason I can think of that would make Ineos not want to sack Ten Hag, because he should be sacked by now. So if they're not going to sack him, then clearly it's financial based, because they can't tell me they're keeping Ten Hag because he's good or they think he's going to play good football. He plays rubbish football. Today, he literally decided to play compact and defensive so we don't get fucking embarrassed by Villa. But yeah, man, like I said, Ten Hag's been given a chance. Spent 600 million, signed close to 20 players, got rid of players he didn't want, including good ones like Sancho, but still couldn't deliver. Like I said, if someone has watched his press conference tonight, let me know what he said, because I know he probably said something stupid like, oh, we played very well, we were unlucky to win because Bruno hit the crossbar, so we should have won. Shut up, man. Honestly, just shut up. But yeah, anyways, Huri says, Maresca is ruthless. Honestly, the Mount and Sancho deal is definitely pure Man United fuckery. Bro, you're our bitches for real. That's what I'm saying. United is just bent over for Chelsea. Because what are we doing? How are we giving them a good player for 25 and they give us a shit one for 65? But yeah, anyways, it is what it is. JC, the coach, says, hey, how's it, my guy? Is it, I think, is it CJ? I think it might be CJ, but yeah, how's it? But yeah, basically, I feel that's enough talk about United, man. That's enough talk about United. Let's move on to someone else. Chelsea, seeing as Uri, you're here. After spending $1 billion, they're top four. They are looking like they're in the race. They level on points with Villa because both of them drew. So Chelsea are still fourth. I thought if Villa had beaten us, they would have gone above us since Chelsea dropped points, but both clubs drew. They drew 1-1 against Forest at Stamford Bridge. I don't know how that game went, but I'm sure that must have been a bit frustrating for the Chelsea fans. But they're a side that's looking much better, man. Maresca has them playing good football. I don't know how they played today, but in general, he looks like he's cooking something there. He really, really does. I know he's got a big squad, but he seems like a guy with authority and he's got something about him. He's a good manager. That's why he's already implemented his style of play at Chelsea already, and they're actually playing good football. And for me, I always had a feeling Chelsea were going to do well. I believe when I predicted my predictions for the season before the season started, and they're shit. I predicted City to win the league. I said Arsenal would be second. I said United would be third. Fucking 14th. I said would be third. I said Chelsea would be fourth. I said Liverpool would be seventh or eighth. I was drunk. I must have been high when I did that fucking video because what the fuck. But yeah. Anyways, Maresca is doing well, man. He's doing really well. And to be fair, you just gotta respect it, man. Going for an unknown manager, like I said, is good because sometimes they come without any pressure. They just do their thing. They don't have to stress about, oh, I have to win week in, week out. No, Maresca's just doing his thing. Of course, he has to win. He knows he has to deliver. But he's just doing his thing, bro. He's just doing his thing. You see? But yeah, Holy says it was insane, bruv. We almost lost. We almost lost, yo. The Forest team is no pushover. I get why Liverpool lost to them. We were saved by Sanchez, as crazy as that sounds. Sanchez is rubbish, though. How is he saving you? I don't rate. You see, if there's a goalkeeper I don't rate in the Premier League, no, it's that guy, Robert Sanchez. He's just not good enough, man. I was surprised you guys didn't go for Mamadashvili from Valencia. I mean, Liverpool got him for very cheap. What, 30 million? Surely you guys could have paid 30 million for Mamadashvili. But yeah, he's gone to Liverpool. It is what it is. You were drunk as fuck. You thought United would be third. I genuinely thought United would be third, guys. I thought United would finish third in the league, but that was after Ineos gave this man... Guys, honestly, who's blaming me though here? Ineos gave this man 600 million to spend. Surely I'm entitled to expect at least a top 3 finish. After you spend 600 million, you should be getting a top 3 finish, right? Look at Chelsea. 1 point whatever billion they've spent. I know it wasn't Maresca, but in general, they're fighting for top 4. So I thought United would be there and thereabout. But instead, we're 14th. And that's not because, yes, I know some of the players are not good enough, right? But these players are not as bad as we're making them look right now. Chenang is just a bad manager. He's a bad coach. So he's making every player look worse than they actually are, because it genuinely doesn't make sense that players are now, everyone looks bad. There are players who are just bad, I know. The likes of Bruno, fucking annoying. He's horrible. Kicking players, getting red cards back to back. Today, I didn't see him, apart from the free kick which he hit. What did he do? Nothing, if you ask me. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Is my boy that guy turned into prime check today? We could have conceded 3. No, apparently Forest are very difficult. They're very compact and very good defensively. So I wouldn't be surprised to hear that they almost won the game, because if you have a good defense, you only need 1 or good chances on the opposite side, and if you score them, then you're gonna win the game. So I'm not surprised to hear that that was the situation with Chelsea. But anyways, I think we're gonna move it on to, how do we move it on to? Liverpool. They're top of the league now. That's a team I predicted to finish. I think they said they'd finish 7th, if not 8th. To be honest, I was taking the piss. It was more hope, you know. Like I thought maybe it would be like a situation like a Moyes where he comes and he struggles. Because replacing a manager like Klopp ain't easy. It's not easy. But I thought this guy's new to the league. He's got players like Van Dijk with 1 year left on his contract. Trent's got 1 year left. Salah 1 year. And listen, I was like the big dogs have got like 1 year left on their contract. They've got big players with big personalities, big characters, big egos. The job's gonna swallow him whole, and he's gonna struggle. He's come to the league and he's just absolutely smashed it. 9 wins in the first 10 games for him in all competitions. Clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet. I think they've got what, 5? I think they've got like 5 clean sheets out of 7 games, 7 Premier League games. That's insane. Playing with a lot more control. They just look like a better side, honestly. And like I said, if you go and watch my predictions video at the beginning of the season, yeah, that video is horrible. I can't. I'm not gonna take it down. I'll leave it there. But it's horrible. It's horrible. My predictions was so bad, so bad. The only thing I got right, I said Tenor would be sent by Christmas. That's the only thing I got right. But yeah, Woody says it's still 7 games. I still think there's going to be a lot of twists and turns. Rodri is out and Arsenal is Arsenal. Yeah, moving on to Arsenal. I said City would win it. Yeah, I just saw a WhatsApp pop up, which is a bit concerning. Yeah, I'm going to need to end the live soon now. Let's wrap up. I need to go. But basically, with Arsenal, this is their chance to win the league because Rodri is out. Rodri is out, and with Rodri being out, City are looking very vulnerable. And with them looking vulnerable, it's time. It's now or never for Arsenal. If Arsenal and Arteta are actually going to win the league title, this is it. And to be fair to them, they still look good defensively. And the set pieces, the corners, man, to Arsenal, they look like just flipping penalties. Gabriel's getting on the end of everything. They're very good in defending them. They're very good. They're very good. So I think Arsenal are going to end up winning it. Obviously, my predictions changed a bit after what we saw, or rather based on what they were before the season kicked off. They've now changed because circumstances change. Players get injured. Players get suspended. All of those things. So yeah, but like I said, man, I got a text pop up because I use my camera. I use my phone to do these live streams, but I got a very concerning message. I actually need to go. I'm gonna have to cut the live, yeah. But anyways, thanks to everyone who joined. If you're watching and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, guys. That helps. Also, if you haven't already, please like the video and share the video. But like I always say at the end of my videos, if you haven't already, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And thanks again for joining the live stream, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.